Alright, so what's up, KVWealthBuilders family? I don't know what we're gonna call you guys, our builders. This is Ken with KVWealthBuilders, also with KV Buy Houses, local real estate investor in the Nashville market, but virtual wholesaler all throughout the U.S. And I wanted to say, making this video just as a quick overview of the 7 steps to wholesaling either your first or your next deal. Now, I'm not going to go in detail on any of these 7 steps, but I wanted to give you guys a quick overview for those of you who are either new to the group, new to wholesaling, and just looking to gain some additional knowledge on what wholesaling is and how you can get started, right? I'm going to be making some additional videos this month detailing each of the 7 steps and giving you some actual action steps to take so that you can start building your real estate wholesale business, and so that you can learn how to set yourself up for growth and for success, right? So I'm just going to kind of go over these 7 things really quick, really briefly. And if you have any questions, I definitely want to hear from you guys. Put it in the comment section. And let me know which one of these 7 you're having a problem with. Just jot the number down in the comment section so that I know where I need to focus a lot of my time at. But if you're having a problem in a particular section, I would love to make a video for you. I would love to maybe even get you on a face-to-face call and we can kind of see if we can work some of that out. So without further ado, here we are. Over here in my little notepad, I got the 7 key steps to wholesaling and closing your first or next deal, right? And let's just jump into it. Step 1 is picking your market. Picking your market is probably one of the most important things you're going to do as a real estate wholesaler, and that's for multiple reasons. One, that's where you're going to be spending all of your marketing time, all of your marketing money. Once you get to that point, that's where you're going to be learning. That's where you're going to be learning to comp properties, to find properties, and to find motivated buyers in those areas. Now, you are going to find motivated sellers, but one of the things I always hate is that people refer to it as motivated sellers. But realistically, a motivated seller is a person who reached out to you to sell their property. If you had to reach out to them to inquire about their property, they're not a motivated seller. They're just a property owner. But cash buyers are typically motivated because they're looking for their next deal. And if you can find a nice stash of motivated buyers, then finding the inventory normally is not that hard, especially if you're looking to get into some virtual wholesaling. Now, I do recommend that if you're new, that you also start off with some local wholesaling. You want to get out into your local community, drive around, driving for dollars, put some bandit signs up, run a couple of Facebook ads, a couple of Craigslist posts, just to garner up some people who may be interested in selling their property, because you may have something sitting literally in your backyard. Vonnie and I go to yard sales all the time. We've gotten 2 deals off of yard sales recently. We've gotten fire properties. We drive around our local neighborhood like every day. I think there's not a day in the last 4 months that we haven't added something locally to our wholesaling list. So step 1 is picking your market. You want to pick a market that properties are selling in, for one. And over here in PropStream, you can actually go in and let's go. I was going to do Dallas, Texas. So if you go into like Dallas, Texas, you can see that we got like 42,000 cash buyers in that area. That means that that's 42,000 people who have bought properties cash. So it's and actually 623 bank-owned properties. So that means that there's a lot of properties that the bank have taken back. There's a lot of pre-foreclosure people out there, 132 pre-foreclosures, and that's just in this one little area. That's not counting Plano and Arlington and all these other outlying areas of Dallas, Texas. This is literally just a metropolitan area. 4,000 properties on the MLS. So if I'm looking at this market, I can see already the 6,000 vacant properties, 280,000 high equity properties. So this list right here is money, right? So picking your market is finding a market that is thriving, people are buying in it, there's jobs in your area, so that means that people are going to continue to buy in it. And if that happens to not be in your local area, then you want to look at virtual wholesaling. Again, I'm going to make a video later to kind of dig deep into virtual wholesaling. But if you're interested in learning more about it, then definitely drop a comment so that I know that that's something that you want to hear about, right? Next one is find cash buyers in the market. Once you pick a market that you're happy with, that you feel like you want to spend a little bit of your time in, and don't get caught up with the market, with finding the market, because you can switch markets. But I do want you to find a market that you're going to be comfortable with sticking with for at least 3 to 6 months. You're going to have to give yourself 3 to 6 months, up to a year, to really learn that market and to really like make a footprint in that market. So you don't want to be jumping around from market to market every month, every couple of weeks. You jump into a different market. You want to kind of stick to a market because you're going to start to spend time and, in some case, money in that market, and you don't want to be wasting your money because you're jumping around and you're unsure. So if you need help with that, reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you and see where we can help you out, figuring out what markets. But definitely starting your local back door, your backyard in your local area. Now, finding cash buyers. Again, as you can see right here in prop screen, I got 42,000 buyers, and I can go in here and filter this out. I want non-owner occupied, people who only bought single family homes, right? So let me make this bigger for a second. And boom, right there, we just narrowed this down. We got 52,000 unique properties. Let's see what we got here. So these are all people who have bought. You know what? Let's do something else, right? I want to look at, let's see. Go to the valuation. Let's say $50,000 to $150,000. People who bought properties $50,000 to $150,000. Let's see what we got here. Oh, nope. Sorry, y'all. I cleared out my own filters. All right, so I want non-owner occupied. And what I mean by that, it means that the person who purchased the property doesn't live in the property. We want investors, not first-time home buyers, not people who are looking for a property for their family to live in. We want it to be non-owner occupied. And again, I'm gonna go with, let's go with 20,000 to 150,000. Let's go 100,000. I don't really know what the Dallas, Texas market is, but it sounds like a good number to me. So again, let's go over here and maximize this, and let's just kind of scroll through here and see what we got. Oh, yep, like this one right here, right? What is this one? This property sold in August 8th of this year, right? Oh yeah, look at that. Now, you can't tell me that this person right here isn't a cash buyer that's buying distressed properties, right? It's corporate owned, which, again, don't get scared by corporate owned properties. Corporate owned just means that somebody put it in an LLC. We own LLCs. Between us as real estate investors, I have an investment group that I've started with some friends. We own an LLC. It's 10 of us. We're part of an LLC. So corporate owned just means that somebody was smart enough to put their property into LLC, right? This person paid, let's see what they paid for it. Oh, they got $33,000 negative in equity, $128,000 mortgage on it. Pull this back up. Let's see. Give me a second, bear with me. Alright, so July 8th, 21 is when they sold this. And again, I'm not going to dig deep in this. I'm kind of going more into it than what I wanted to. But I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to go in here and find cash buyers and what that really looks like. One of the things I really like about PropScreen is this link property. Oh, okay. So see, this person they bought 32 properties. So again, this is a motivated seller. If you're in the Texas market, you need to write You need to write that down and research them, because these people should be on your buyers list. They've obviously been buying properties, and they've been buying properties recently. 1 month ago, 0 months ago, they bought this one. Let's see what this looked like. Yep, look at that. That's an investment property, people. That is a wholesale deal. That is all that is. Let's go. Let's see. They've owned this one for 1 month. Oh, okay. That's one we were just looking at. What else do they own? 1 year, 9 months. Let's see what that. Yep. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. All right. So let's get out of here and let's get back to what I was talking about. All right. So if you need to find cash buyers, boom, there you go. Find cash buyers. You can get, and again, you can get into here and figure out what they've been paying for properties. Again, the cash sales information will give you a little bit more information about that. MLS data, you can see what it sold for. 88,000, 88.6 is what it sold for. It sit on the market for 51 days, and it was a cash only deal. You can see right there, no blind or financing offers will be accepted. That means that they came with money in the hand. These are people that you want on your list. All right, so find buyers in your market. Boom. We showed you that you can find them with PropStream, JV deals. That's other wholesalers in your market, or even us. We do virtual wholesale deals, so we may have buyers in your market already. So if you go out and find a property, you can definitely reach out to us, and we'll love to JV with you. And my motto is 0% of 50% of zero is still zero. So if you want 50% of whatever that deal could have been, then you want to reach out to a JV and do a JV deal. And the good thing about doing JV deals is that normally that wholesaler already has an established rapport with that buyer, so they already know what they're going to buy, what they're willing to buy. The buyer already trusts that wholesaler, so boom, you're getting some dual action going on in there when you do a JV deal. Realtors, we had our last, I think, 2 deals we sold to a realtor friend who actually is a friend of ours from church, but she has an extensive cash buyers list. She has a bunch of investors who come to her to find them investment properties, and she comes to us to find her investment properties because she's a realtor and she doesn't do the haggling and negotiations and all of that other stuff that we do as wholesalers. So we do deals with her all the time. Facebook, Craigslist, local sales history, you can kind of get digging. Like, again, it's kind of similar to this, like we can see some MLS information on here, but if you have access to a realtor, they can get you some local sales information, let you know what has sold, who has bought what. You really want to focus on people who have bought more than one property within the last 6 to 12 months, because those are going to be your high value buyers. If somebody's buying 5 properties a month, or 6 properties in a quarter or something like that, you want them on your list because they obviously have the money and the means to go out and just buy properties, right? What to ask. I'm gonna, again, in the follow-up video, I'll give you some more details on how to talk to the buyers, what questions to ask them. You want to know what they're purchasing, what are they willing to buy. They're going to tell you that they're willing to buy anything. Oh, send me anything you get. Most times that's a lie. You still want to know either what they're willing to buy or what they're not willing to buy. Because sometimes knowing what they're not willing to buy is more important than knowing what they will buy. Because if I already know that you won't buy in a certain neighborhood, I don't have to waste my time sending you that property. I can send that property to somebody else who I know will. If I know that you're not a buy and hold type of investor and this is a buy and hold type of property, I may not send that to you first. I may send you the knockdown, build up property because you like to build more than you like to flip. So you got to know your buyers and you got to categorize them. The more you reach out to them and talk to them, the more you're going to know them. But you want to avoid the lazy buyers, the ones who just say, oh, I'll buy anywhere, because most times that's not true. We all have our preferences on where we will buy, especially, again, if you're buying the whole or buying to rent it out, you want to buy in an area where you know you're going to get your rent paid. So most of those buyers who are very serious investors, and they're not looking to buy in certain areas, but same thing, if you find in Section 8 type properties and you have a Section 8 buyer, boom, I'm going to send you my Section 8 properties, and I'm going to send my high-end properties to this other person who buys the high-end properties, right? So that's step 2. Step 2 is finding buyers, reaching out to buyers. Just showed you that in PropStream you can find buyers, MLS you can find buyers, on Facebook you can find buyers, on Craigslist you can find buyers. You can find buyers through JV deals. And the key with JV deals is that normally after you do the deal with them, that person just became your buyer too. You know, even if the investor didn't tell you their name, like, you can go and find that out if you really wanted to. Do your research. You know, 2 months down the road when the MLS information and the sales information and the county clerk's information get updated, you get the name of whoever that was, and you can go and reach out to them. You know, that's just kind of how it works. And you can search, again, properties that have sold in your area. So if you drive by a property all the time and you notice that property just got rehabbed, that's the person you want to reach out to, because they may be a cash buyer. Let's see. Pick and run your marketing campaigns. We like getting inbound leads, right? Your inbound leads are your motivated sellers. And what I mean by that is, if someone is reaching out to you saying, hey, I saw that you buy houses, I want to sell, I want to see what you would give me as an offer, that person has the potential to be a motivated seller, or they are a motivated seller. You just have to gauge what level of motivation they have. You know, property owners are not automatically motivated sellers. And what I mean by that is, if you're out driving for dollars and you come up on a property that look like crap, just because it look like crap to you don't mean that the person wants to sell it. They may not be motivated. You may get cussed out and all kinds of other stuff reaching out to them. But that's part of the game. That's part of what we do. But you want to get to the point where you have that inbound traffic coming into you. You know, that's where you get into your PPC, which is pay per click, which is like your Google ads, your ads on Hulu, your ads on the local TV channels, stuff like that. Those are going to be some inbound. Those are going to get you inbound lead traffic. Those are going to be the people who are going to reach out to you. Your website. If you're starting out, don't run out and get a website when you get off of here. But I will say this: start thinking about what your company name is. And if you already have your company name thought out, go ahead and get your domain name. Because last thing you want to do is to go out here and start setting up a business under a name and then find out that somebody else already owns that domain. And now you got to be JV Buy Houses 22. Nobody's going to remember that. You know, you want to be JV Buy Houses blank, just flat out. So if you already came up, I say JV, you know, because we're KV Buy Houses. I don't know. That just popped in my head. But if you already know what your name is or what name you're gonna do business under, then yes, I would say go ahead and buy that domain name. Normally you can get it with GoDaddy for like $15 for the year or something like that. Is worth the investment. But definitely you want to at least have a landing page. You want to at least have a Facebook page. No, I need to add that in here. You want to at least have a Facebook page that people can go to and get information about you, and that's where you can update them on what you're looking for, where you're looking at. You can put pictures of properties that you have sold. Once you do a wholesale deal, put that picture on your website. Who cares? You know, you did sell it, you know, and depending on how you closed the deal, you technically owned it for a brief period. We've owned properties for literally 1 minute and then sold it to somebody else. So, hey, when you look at the deed and the transfer information, we own that property and then we sold it. We paid taxes on that property as if we owned it for forever and sold it. So those are things that you can use for part of your marketing campaigns. Ads, word of mouth is very, very powerful. You may not believe it, but word of mouth is very, very popular. It's very, very, very beneficial. You want people to be talking about you and how great it was selling their property to you. You want them to tell their friends, their co-workers, their family members, their neighbor down the road who also thinking about selling their house. You want them talking about. You want them to come back to you when they're ready to sell their next house when they move. And then driving for dollars is our all-time favorite way to find properties. Again, we are always out and about. We at yard sales. I have no problem pulling up to your house after something's happened to it. You got flooded, you got a water main bust, and I see the people out there looking at it. Whatever it may be, we'll come out and we'll talk to you, because these are going to be some high dollar, high value people. And sometimes people don't know what to do. They don't know that they can reach out to a realtor because their house is in disrepair, and they feel like in order to put it on MLS, they got to be in perfect condition. And because you were driving around, you saw it, you reached out to them, and boom, you may have gotten a deal out of that. So that's step 3. Step 3 is pick and run your marketing campaign. And now this is just a brief, again, overview. There are so many more things out there that you can do as far as marketing. Again, like I said, here in PropStream, actually, they have a new marketing tab over here where you can go, and we started a few things in here, but you can send postcards, voicemails, you got text messages, emails, again, bandit signs. We got placards on our cars. You can pay rideshare drivers to put placards on their cars. You can pay them to put cards in their car. You can pay them to put little pretty signs on the back of their headrests for people who they pick up at the airport, who may be thinking about either selling their house here or selling their house where they're moving from because they just flew into Dallas and they're looking for something. So yes, you can get into here, and they have campaigns in here. There's other places that you can buy campaigns from, but you want to start a marketing campaign of some sort to either bring you inbound leads, or for you to go out there and find some leads so that you can start generating some motivated sellers out of some maybe not motivated people. Building relationships. That's number 4. Building relationships and talking to sellers. Now, this is probably the scariest part for most beginner wholesalers, because you have no idea what you're talking about. You don't know how to comp a property. You may not have even purchased a property of your own. You may be a renter right now, and you've never purchased a house. It takes some practice, right? But don't be afraid, because if you're afraid to get out and talk to sellers, then you're never going to close a deal, right? If you're afraid of being told no, you're never going to get a yes. And if no deters you, you may be passing up on a deal. Sometimes people tell you no because they don't understand what you're trying to tell them. They don't understand what the offer is. They don't understand they think there's a gimmick or a catch. And you got to explain that to them. You got to get comfortable with talking to them. Now, that's where it comes into, getting a script. I do believe in scripts in the beginning. I do not like scripts now because I think that it does kind of make you sound a little bit animatronic. However, scripts are very, very good in the beginning to practice and hone your techniques of knowing what to say, even if that's just a checklist of knowing what to ask. Because the thing is, you can get on the phone with a seller or with a property owner, and then you'll start to forget what questions to ask. So you want to have that, at least have a little bullet point jot down of I need to get condition, I need to get the price, I need to get the years of ownership, I need to figure out why they want to sell it. And I think I got that on here, right? So you want to find what it is that they want in the deal. What are they looking for? Are you looking to get rich off of this, or are you looking to sell your property because you need to move? How soon are you looking to move? And the things that you want to ask about are situation, motivation, condition, and timeline. If you can cover those 4 things, you're going to get most of the information you need in that first phone call, and enough information to make a educated offer on that property, right? So again, that's situation, motivation, condition, timeline. What's your situation? Are you in foreclosure? Are you behind on the mortgage? Or are you just tired of the house? What's your motivation? Same thing. Are you tired of the house? Are you extra motivated, or are you just kind of thinking about it because you want to see what you could get for it? People who are just thinking about it typically aren't as motivated, but those are great people to follow up with, because at some point they become motivated. Condition. What's the condition of the property? I need to know what condition the property is in so that I know that I can I know what offer to make you. I can't pay you full price for a property that is a 2-1 in the bathroom, the tub's falling through the floor and whatever. I need to know the condition of the property. And then timeline, how soon are you looking to move? How soon are you looking to sell? Are you looking to move in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180 days? You need a year to get yourself together. Those are things you want to know, because again, that lets you know how soon you need to move on this property. If you're not looking to move for 180 days, then I got time. But if you're looking to move in the next 30 days, well, I don't have as much time, because those are the ones who are going to hold you to the ideal of, I need to close in 30 days. So that means that you need to make sure that you prioritize that property over the property that got 180 days, right? So yeah, that's building a relationship with the seller in a nutshell. You want to be transparent with them, reach out to them, talk to them all the time. Again, use some of these campaigns that we talked about, text messages, email. If they're cool with text messages, we closed a deal that was literally all text messages. We JV with another wholesaler, and we literally only text the buyer. Like, we didn't call them, we didn't do any of that. It was just text messages. I think I sent maybe 6 text messages, and we made $7,000 on that deal, on a split. So it was a $14,000 wholesale fee, which really was, I think, 15 or 16 or something like that. We had to pay closing costs, all that other stuff. But yeah, we got $7,000 out of that one, and that was just text messages. So number 5, moving on. Number 5 is make offers. Make offers, make offers, make offers, make offers. The more offers you make, the more properties you're going to close on. Okay. So if you aren't making offers, then you're not wholesaling right now. Okay. If you're just looking at properties and not sending out offers, you're not wholesaling. Now, again, this is probably the second scariest thing outside of talking to the seller. First we get antsy talking to the seller, but then we get even more antsy when it comes time for us to make that offer and send them over that little piece of paper called a contract, because we don't know if our numbers are right, or what if I price it what if I price it too high and my buyer don't want to buy it, but what if I price it too low and my seller gets offended by it? Don't worry about all that, okay? Again, I'm going to make another video. We'll talk about how to comp properties. Again, you get over here in the prop screen. Prop screen has another tool where you can actually make a repair list. Let me see. I'm going to one of my properties here. Don't y'all be stealing my properties now. You can get over here into prop screen. They have a little rehab calculator, and you can get into this rehab calculator, and you can figure out how to do a rehab without actually knowing how to do one, right? Without actually knowing what you're doing, for the most part. And again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I was a contractor for 6 years after I got out of the Marine Corps, so I'm very well versed in how to do most of the bidding and most of the work when it comes down to doing a rehab or a flip or even building. So I don't mind giving some advice here and there. But like, you can get into here, and they have this Blue Hammer through PropStream. If you have a PropStream membership, you also have Blue Hammer, and you can get in here and you can go by. Let's see, we want to replace a bathroom, complete remodel. Boom, shower only, ceramic tile. We want to go with better. It's gonna go in the bathroom. Add to estimate, right? Then we go over here, and boom, you see it already told us what our cost would potentially be. And there are stuff that you can go in here and tweak, but it gives you a full breakdown. And the great thing about this little piece of software is that this works both for your buyer and your seller, right? Because when you're talking to your seller and you need them to understand why you made the offer that you made them, this is a great rebuttal to, well, this offer was too low. Okay, well, hey sir, here's what I'm looking at as an investor that I'm gonna have to spend on just this bathroom. This is just a bathroom, 10 grand, and that's for a complete remodel. And so yeah, this is a very powerful tool with making offers. But I showed you that to say that don't let it get you down, don't let it scare you, because there are so many different ways to figure out how to make an offer, right? You can go through the recently sold properties in the area and then price your offer to match the offers that are already been selling. All right, so if somebody just sold a 1,200 square foot for $88,600 to the investor there in Dallas, Texas, and you have a 1,200 square foot that is in a similar neighborhood in similar conditions, then boom, you already kind of got an idea of what you can set your price at. So don't be afraid to make offers. It's all about getting out there and doing the research. All right. Right here, find the 3 lowest comps in your area and subtract your fee. That's literally finding the 3 properties that match your property. Again, 2122 with 1,200 square foot. You find the 3 lowest ones. One sold for 88,000. One sold for 100,000. One sold for 90,000. You add them together, divide them by 3, subtract your fee, whatever you're looking to get, 5, 10, 15,000, whatever that is, and then that's the offer you're gonna make, because and then you're gonna in turn sell that to your buyer at the price that you gave them plus your fee. All right. Know what your exit is. Know if you're gonna wholesale it, hotel it. Know what the exit for your buyer is too, because that dictates what you can do with the property. All right. Again, if you're looking at a property that really needs to be torn down, then you can only pay for land. You can't pay for a house that is in such bad condition that it's gonna have to get torn down, because that doesn't make sense. It doesn't work, because you're still gonna have to put back a similar size house unless you can have increase the density on that property, which we do a lot of that. We love land, because a lot of times you may have a land that had a single family home on it, just to find out that it could have had a duplex or a triplex on it. So when you're looking at it from that standpoint, okay, well, now your 88.6 just became I can put 3 brand new quads or 3 brand new houses on this that each can sell for 300,000. Okay, well, now when I go to my end buyer, my price tag just went up a little bit, and I can add a little bit more fluff in there on my fee, right? So know your exit strategy. Know what the property is worth. That's kind of the same thing. Everybody's heard kind of the 70% rule. 70% of ARV minus repairs, and then minus your fee, and that's your offer price. And again, that depends on your buyer, depends on your area, but that's a general rule of thumb. When it comes down to land, they typically a buyer won't pay more than 25% of the land value. They won't pay more than 25% of the after build cost. So if I can build a house and sell it for $500,000, the most that I want to pay is 25% of that to acquire the land. The most I want to pay, all right? And some of them are going to want 20%. Some of them are even greedier and want you to be around 10%, which is kind of ridiculous nowadays, but you do find those deals. If it needs major work versus a full rehab, you just kind of want to know what that looks like. There are some square footage calculations that some people use, 25 cents per square foot, or I think 50 cents per square foot. We don't really do a lot of that necessarily, because we kind of know our market. We do a lot of due diligence work to figure out our market. So that's kind of where we go with it. All right, so that's making the offer. If you're not making offers, you're not really wholesaling, you're not investing, right? Number 6 is follow up. Okay, look, you make your money in the follow up. Now we go back to our marketing, where I talked about the marketing campaigns, your text, your call, your emails, your Facebook. I Facebook stalk people all the time. If I can't find your information through skip tracing, you best believe I'm gonna find you, your mom, your brother, your son, somebody on Facebook, and I'm gonna hit them up and ask them, hey, are you looking to sell this property? Because sometimes that's the easiest way to find people, and Facebook is becoming like your secondary phone number in some cases. Some people FaceTime call you, Facebook call you before they regular call you. So follow up, right? Most deals take more than 3 touches. We've had deals that have taken. We had a probate property that we did that it took us, I think, 8 months just to get an answer back from all of the siblings who were on the deed for the property. We had another property. We had one that we recently closed, and we was talking to this gentleman for over a year, because he had someone living in the property. They wasn't paying him rent. He didn't want to kick him out. He finally got to the point where he was tired of it. He was losing money. He owed a mortgage payment on the property still. So he came back to us. We have been hitting him up every month. Hey, just letting you know that we're still looking. Hey, just letting you know we're still interested. Hey, just wanted to send you this information just in case it can help you. I saw this article in the newspaper about renter's assistant. Hope this can help you out. When he was ready to sell, he came to us and we wholesaled it. We'll sign that deal, actually. Some can take months, even years. Again, like I don't know about you, but if it takes me 6 months to make $20,000 on the deal, I'm gonna do that. If it takes me a year to make $20,000 on the deal, oh, you best believe I'm gonna be right there on that phone every month, hitting you up, sending you a text message. It doesn't take that much to send somebody a text message or email. It could be the same text message and email every month if you wanted to. But follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. And the reason why I say that is because situations change, motivation change, job statuses change. People have babies and find out that the house is too small. Kids graduate high school and college and they no longer come home, so now your house is too big. Trees fall through ceilings. Floods happen. Lightning strikes. Like, you get where I'm going with that, right? Things happen. Things change. Health declines. People move into nursing homes, believe it or not. And people die. Sadly to say, but people die. So life changes, things happen, and when things happen, you want to make sure that you position yourself to be in that location to take advantage of that, and to make your deal happen. So I don't have to say that anymore. Follow up, 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 follow up with people. Okay, look. Everybody who's going to watch this video has somebody that continues to call and harass and follow up with them about something, right? You've had something that you've purchased. You didn't buy it the first time you saw it. You didn't buy it the second time you saw it. Maybe not even the third time you saw it. But boy, that fourth time you saw it, you really knew that you needed to have it because you've been telling yourself that you needed it all this time. That's the same thing here. We are marketing, all right? You're in the real estate business, but you're really a marketer. You're marketing yourself. You're marketing your properties. You're marketing your business. You're marketing your skills. You're marketing something every day when you're doing this business. So follow up so that your marketing can pay off. And then last but not least, number 7 is close the deal and get paid. All right. And again, this is something that some people are going to have some problem with. You don't know where to find a title company. You had a hard time finding a buyer. You don't even know what an assignment fee is, right? You don't even know how to write up an assignment contract. Don't worry about all of that. Look, find yourself a good title company. They'll most times help you with a lot of the paperwork issue. They do a lot of the due diligence for you, right? When it comes down to finding out what's owed on the property, who owns the property, a good title company, they do all of that mostly for you. Not saying that you don't want to do it yourself, because you should always be doing it yourself as well, but close, you getting to number 7 that's where you get paid. That's your bread and butter. That's the winning. That's the finish line. That's the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what we are trying to get to. That's that 10, 20, 30, 50, $100,000 in your bank account. That's you getting that fee, that check mailed to you, or that money wired directly into your bank account. Look, we love to do virtual deals. We love to get we love title companies that do virtual closings because they will wire you your money rather than sending you a check. And your money is in your bank account within hours, sometimes within minutes of closing. But again, all of that goes back to making sure that you're doing all those other steps so that you can get to the closing table, right? Some of the stuff when it comes down to closing, again, I'll make another video talking about what assignment fees are and what that look like. Talking about the double closing, transactional funding. Believe it or not, is not as hard to find as you think, because most transactional lenders lend based off of the property and off of the deal, not off of you, not off of your credit, because they're going to take first lien position on that property anyway. So if for some reason you don't close or they don't get paid their money back, they're going to come after the property to get their money back, right? So and that, again, though, that's their guarantee. But as long as your buyer holds out and buys the deal, then everybody's happy, everybody gets paid. We've used transactional funding because we've done double closing, because once you start getting up to around $15,000 on the assignment fee, people start feeling like you're taking out of their pocket, especially your end buyer. A lot of them like to count your pockets when they're dealing with wholesalers, because they feel like, well, I'm going to go and flip the property, I should get paid more. Well, I had to go and negotiate this property. I had to talk to that seller every month for a year. I had to get cussed out by the sister who didn't like me. I had to do all of those other steps just to get you this deal that you can now just easily go in there and slap some paint on it and throw some new fixtures in, and then list it on the MLS at an inflated price. So yes, I want to get paid too. And when it comes down to stuff like that, double closing is definitely a tool to have in your tool belt, because sometimes you don't want anybody to see what you made. Sometimes you don't even want the seller to see what you made, because seller got an ugly house that's falling apart and you could only pay them $40,000, but then you were able to go sell it to your investor for $80,000. Well, the seller may feel like you cheated them, which you didn't. Again, you had to do all the work. You still got to go out and find a buyer. You still got to go out and convince the buyer that your price is good. You got to go out and do the due diligence. You had to go out and figure out what kind of repairs the property needs. The seller didn't do that, so sometimes double closing is worth it, because you're going to make some big money in this business, and you don't want people to really be digging into your pockets. See here, right here, I got creative options, hotel, sub-twos, lease options. I'm not going to even go into any of that stuff. But those are like some of your more advanced deal techniques for closing. Now, once you start getting up to where you done did a couple of deals, you got some money in your pocket, now we can start talking about hoteling and lease options and all of that stuff, where you can start talking about trying to make some passive income with sub-twos and lease options. Hotel, I told you about that earlier. That was just getting the property and putting it on the MLS. But again, that requires a little bit of finesse, because that's not a 30-day thing typically. Some properties sit on the MLS for 50, 60, 90 days. And not to mention, once you put it on the MLS, the seller can now see what you have it on the MLS at. And sometimes that could be an unwanted issue. So networking, local events, online events, make sure that you're getting into these online groups, these Facebook groups, asking questions, meeting other people, meeting sellers. I'm in several different investing groups. I'm in crypto investing groups. I'm in stock trading groups. So throughout some of the other groups that I'm in, I've also met people who have access to large sums of money with nowhere to put it, because they don't want to put $200,000 into crypto, because they already have $200,000 in crypto, and they got another $200,000 that they want to put somewhere else. Those are the people that you want to have on your list, because those become buyers. So, and that gets you closer to closing your deals and getting paid, right? And then title companies. So again, I didn't want to make this video super long, and I've already gone kind of longer than I wanted to. But I want you guys to, like I said, take a look at this and let me know where you're having a problem at. Which step are you having your disconnect at? Are you having a problem with figuring out how to even write an offer? Are you having a problem with finding the contract? Do you feel like you can't find buyers? Are you having a problem finding motivated sellers or property owners? Again, remember, motivated sellers are people who are already motivated to sell. Property owners are just people who own a property that you would like to buy, right? Motivated sellers are easier to talk to. That's the reason why we really love our inbound lead generation, because anything that brings the person to us, our website, when somebody land on our website and they hit that button and they send us over their information, you're a motivated seller at that point, because you are interested in selling in some way, shape, or form, but let us know where you're having your problems at, so we can try to help you guys out. I'm going to be working on making more of these videos. I'm not going to say that I'm the best at making these videos, but I have a lot of information to share. Bunny has a lot of information to share. She's actually, one of the things that we wanted to tell you guys is that Bunny's actually working on getting her realtor's license. I'm working on getting my contractor's license. So we're going to be a true power couple in 2022, because not only will we be able to wholesale properties, we're going to be able to actually be the end buyer, the cash buyer on properties. We're going to be able to flip properties. We're going to be able to hotel properties, because she's going to be the realtor. We're going to get paid, in some cases twice, maybe even 3 times, because maybe we got the property from a wholesale lead. you know, I can get the work done on it, and then she can turn around and flip it, and we can get paid in each portion of that transaction, you know, and definitely build some wealth. So if you're having some questions, anything that I went over, definitely reach out to us. Drop some comments, show some love. Hey, like this video, okay? Like this video. Like this video. Like the video. Alright? Show me some love. Alright. But peace out. Today is September the 11th, so, you know, it's a hard time in the country. You know, we always go back to remembering September the 11th and the tragedy that happened with the Twin Towers. And 20 years of war that we've been going through since then. But, you know, on the bright side of things, you know, life does go on. Life continues. Markets bounce back, as we saw. You know, we've had in that same 20 years, we've had several depressions and recessions and all of that stuff. We had the market crashed in 08 and bounced back, and now the market's doing greater than it's ever been doing, right? So I just want to say, you know, keep your head up, keep pushing, and let's make some money. Let's build some wealth. Let's make some generational wealth. All right, peace.